I was born in 1925 in Genoa Bay on Vancouver Island and raised in Pauli, a sawmill community near Duncan with a population of mostly East Indians and Orientals. At age 16, all Japanese nationals and those of us who were Canadian born were required to be registered, fingerprinted, and photographed for identification cards to be carried at all times. Shortly after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor on December the 7th in 1941, the BC Security Commission was established to remove all Japanese Canadians from a 100-mile strip along the west coast. We had 72 hours to leave our homes. My family was evacuated to Hastings Park in Vancouver, where we were all separated from each other. My father and mother's quarters were in the livestock building in a 6x8 horse stall with twin beds. The stench from years of horse urine soaked in the floors was enough to make a healthy person ill. They served meals in rusty metal plates. I remember when we all got diarrhea from food poisoning. In July, we were evacuated to Slocan City by train. It was very hot. We stopped in Nelson and tried to buy shoes at a store and go to a local cafe for food. Neither establishment would sell anything to us. Many of us were put to work and paid 25 cents an hour building houses for the internment camps. My parents, 4 brothers, and 2 sisters lived in one of these houses at Pop-Up Farm. The first winter was harsh. We had more than 4 feet of snow, with icicles forming inside our living quarters, so we put cardboard from boxes on the walls. After the houses were built, I worked at a horse lodging camp at Upper 6 Mile Lakes, about 10 miles from Nelson. We had a garden with almost everything in it. We also bought vegetables from the Doukhobors who came in horse-drawn wagons. We went ice skating, had a baseball league, and dances at the Oddfellows Dance Hall. We loved the music of Glenn Miller and Tommy Dorsey. In the spring of 1945, the government issued a repatriation order. Go back to Japan or move east of the Rockies. We just stuck it out, and later they let us stay. My brothers and I worked as loggers and sawmill workers in the Slocan area. We were not allowed to leave our employment by the BC Securities Commission. In 1950, 5 of us brothers started our own sawmill and advanced many new techniques in the logging industry. In 1955, I got married to Kimiko, who I met in Slocan. We moved to Nelson, where we bought a house for $5,500, and we still live there. The Japanese-Canadian Redress Agreement was signed on September the 22nd, 1988, with an apology from the government. Each Japanese Canadian living at the time received $21,000. Although I still cherish and enjoy my Japanese heritage and the culture of my parents, my home and loyalty is here in Canada, and I am proud to be Canadian.